Hello fight fans, I am Chevy here with MNMMANEWS.com, and I am about to mix it up with one of the toughest fighters in all of Minnesota, amateur or otherwise. I am here with Anthony the Bruiser Mix. Anthony, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing really well. It's great to see you. I'm very excited to be here at Impact Martial Arts and Fitness right here in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. This is one of the nicest facilities I've been in, and I've done a lot of great interviews in a lot of great facilities. You guys got a lot going on down here. I want to jump right into this thing. You're one of the toughest guys out there right now. You're a very big dude. You're a huge middleweight. When you get into the cage, you're one of these guys. You can tell you've got a big chip on your shoulder. Where do you get that chip on your shoulder from? What is it that gives you the ability to go in and hurt the guy standing across from you inside the cage every time you step in there?
Well, what I do is I put my daughter in it, there's not a lot that a guy won't do for their kid, and I got a little 3-year-old baby, and realistically, I think someone's trying to get at her, so I use that as my motivation. My daughter is my full motivation, and that's how I can tear people's heads off, even when the chips are stacked against me.
Now, the chips have been stacked against you a couple of times in your fights so far, but you've been able to come away victorious. You have not taken any easy fights so far, and you've had some huge wins. What is it that actually got you in to the sport of MMA? What actually made you decide? Because, the thing is, you have to be a little bit nutty to get yourself locked into a cage with a guy who wants to take your head off. What is it that originally got you into this sport?
Legal issues. I'm getting in a lot of trouble outside. It's time to grow up. So that's what I did. I found an outlet to relieve some of this tension, some of this aggression in a healthy way. I've done a lot for myself in the last year and a half or so. That has caused me to need an outlet for me not to be in trouble, really.
And that's huge. It's interesting that you say that, because a lot of the guys that I talk to, and especially traditionally, what it's been is because we haven't had the amateur side of the sport for a long time. So what it's been is a lot of guys who were college wrestlers, who thought to themselves, hey, I'm not going to make a lot of money as a wrestler in the Olympics and stuff like that. So, I want to take that, and try to make money with it. Whereas a lot of the amateur guys that I've talked to, they're street guys. These are guys that, we're fighting. They're great athletes. You're a great athlete. There's no, two ifs, ands, or buts about that. But, they're guys who grow up fighting on the street, and they get themselves, an outlet so that they, can get that aggression out, not get themselves into trouble. Now, you've been fighting now. It's been about what, 2 years since you got into the sport?
A year in May. So
a year in May.
A year and a little bit of change. Yep.
So you haven't been in the sport for that long, and you have done some amazing things. You're a champion for 2 different promotions, and you've got a really big fight coming up. It's going to be at Treasure Island, the Treasure Island Resort and Casino, on July 30th, which is one of the biggest shows in Minnesota and possibly the Midwest. You're going to be fighting a guy, Justin Rheaume. He's at the Mankato Martial Arts Academy. A great fighter, a solid guy. What do you want for yourself to happen in this fight? Because is your title on the line, or is his title on the line?
Well, it's crazy you asked that, because really it's a champion versus champion, winner take all. I'm putting my belt up. He's putting his belt up. We're fighting at a catch weight of 190 pounds. And it's, once that gate closes, someone's going home with 2 straps, And that's just what it is.
So this is going to be a unification bout for both the titles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that's a huge fight for you. Now, you're undefeated so far in your career. We've seen you submit guys. We've seen you knock guys out. You're a well-rounded fighter. If you had your choice, if the fight could go any way, if it was in the Matrix,
KO, baby. You don't even have to finish. I want that knockout. I'm hungry. I'm so thirsty for this knockout that I'm willing to do anything I can to keep it on my feet. So we'll see this Saturday, at Treasure Island, what's gonna happen. I'm so gassed to get in there. so pumped, man.
And you're one of these guys. You let your skills and your fists do the talking. You're not a guy who talks a lot outside the cage or anything like that. I know that you're a real humble guy. You're a very respectful guy. But I know that there is a little bit of bad blood going on between the two of you right now. So I mean, you really want the knockout really bad. What do you want for yourself in the future as a fighter? If you can go in there, I mean, this literally, you get this win, that means you're a champion in 3 different promotions, or one promotion, 2 weight classes, and another promotion in Minnesota. What are you hoping for yourself next? Are you going to stay amateur, or are you looking to go pro?
No, I'm definitely taking it to the next level. Pro's where it's at, I'm having a good time with this amateur thing, but amateur doesn't pay the bills. So it's time to do what I love and get paid to do it. I'm not going to be, this forever. So the quickest I can get in there and make stuff happen for me and for my family, it's pro time, baby.
Well, and you've looked fantastic in your fights. I mean, you've showed a lot of skill. You've got knockout power in both hands. You've got great submissions. You've got great takedown defense. Your wrestling has gotten a lot better since you started. You're a really well-rounded fighter. I definitely think you're ready for that step up to pro. A big part of that, of course, is the team that you train with, Impact Martial Arts. If you can see this behind me right here, their coach, Troy Williams, this is something that he says, and pain is weakness leaving the body. And so I know that Troy and your team have been instrumental in getting you to this point. What's it like training with Impact Martial Arts?
Man, it's something different every day. We work hard. We work 5-6 days a week. Days we're off, we're working. Coach is like a father to me. He took me under his wing when nobody else was really, trying to help me or seeing the potential in me. He took me under his wing, turned me from that street thug to the person I am now. I wasn't humble a year ago. I can't even sit and say that I am, because I do talk smack. You know what I mean? But who doesn't? What I can say is that I do prefer to let my actions speak for themselves. So, I got to give all my props to my coach, Troy Williams, and my gym and my team, Impact Martial Arts and the Impact Fight Club. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and that's all I can say about that is it's a team thing. It may just be me going into the cage, but what you see me doing and how you see me acting, whether it's in the cage or in the streets, it reflects my team and my coach, and that's what it is.
Well, something that you often hear fighters say, it's a big myth that fighting is an individual sport. It is a team sport. You have to be in that cage, across from your opponent, but you've got your friends, your family, your teammates, your coach in the corner. So, you really bring them into the cage with you every time. How much does that mean to you to know that you have so many people there backing you up when you go to these big fights?
Well, I love it. I feel like every fight that I've been at, I've kind of brought one of the largest crowds, one of the largest sections, and there's nothing more, driving than to have your crowd, your group screaming and chanting for you, yelling your nickname, and you're hearing your mom and your dad and your coach. I mean, there's nothing like it in the world.
You do have more fans in any given event crowd than a Baptist church in Phoenix, Arizona in the middle of July. You do bring a really big crowd. Now I know you've got some really great sponsors that have helped you out along the way. Like you said, you've only been in this for a year, but you've picked up quite a few sponsors. Who are the guys that are sponsoring you, that are helping you get your training done and do what you need to do?
Well, I got a couple of guys now. I got Dale and Michelle Fairbanks from MNMMAoutlet.com. They're helping me with my gear and getting my fight shorts, my apparel. They're lining me up, and they're doing a great job doing it. And they're out there, and I got to give a shout out to you guys, because if it wasn't for you, I mean, I wouldn't be looking fresh in my my clinch gear shorts and my clinch gear rash guard, and
that stuff's not cheap either.
And it's top quality stuff. They're really helping me out. I also got my buddy that keeps my car You know, running keeps me getting to the gym. Up at Absolute Auto and Blaine here. You know, and it's kind of, I've had to narrow it down a little bit, but yeah, I got the team I got on my corner is a good team, and I'm very happy to have them, and I'm looking forward to them pursuing a long-term relationship as my career gets bigger and higher. So.
Well, and it is progressing along really quickly now. July 30th, Treasure Island. Treasure Island's a big show. It's honestly gotten to be one of the biggest shows we have here in Minnesota. You know, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 people. Awesome event center. Tell us, you know, how excited are you to be on this card, and how much fun is it to fight at the Treasure Island Resort and Casino for Brutal MMA?
Dude, you know, really, Nick Gamston, Brutal, have made me feel like a star. And I don't know any other promotion or any other group of people that is like taking these fighters and putting them on the pedestal that they may, you know, that they deserve. We're out here getting our butts whooped, you know, day in and day out. I get made fun of because I'm hurting myself more in training than I do in the cage. So, you know, I'm putting a lot on the line to do this, and the guys at Brutal Genesis are really making that aware to the rest of the world, and making me feel like I'm accomplishing something in that. Now, Treasure Island, I feel like I've made it. You know what I mean? Like, this is the event where I feel like this is the beginning of my career. Now I can move on.
Like being at the MGM Grand in Vegas,
dude,
or something.
oh my God. In Minnesota, what gets better than one of the largest casinos in Minnesota? I mean, it's great. People get to come. They get to enjoy themselves. They get to watch some amazing fights. And I get to kick someone's ass while in the meantime. So, you know, it's great. It's great. I can't wait.
And security's not dragging you out the front door.
Amen, brother. Yes, amen.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be a really tough fight for you, but you come away with this fight with 2 straps, and you know, I mean, you could be looking at a big fight, big money fight the next day. So, you know, we're all really excited to see this fight. You know, I know you're extremely excited about it. I know you're probably just chomping at the bit, you know, counting the hours until it gets here. Yeah. But yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Is there anybody else you want to thank or give shout-outs to?
Well, I got to give shout-outs to my family, my friends. My baby mama, I love you, baby girl.
Don't forget her, because she's the one that he has to worry about getting beat up by.
Yes, you know, I got a little one on the way at the end of next month, so I got to give it out to her for standing there and supporting me. My daughter, Paige LeRae, Daddy loves you. You know, Mom, Dad, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. Now, before I get all emotional, you know, I gotta go ahead and say thanks, Coach. Thanks, sponsors, all of you, love you. The list could go on. I could keep you guys here for hours doing this, but yeah.
Well, don't worry. Anybody you forget, you'll be able to thank them at Treasure Island. Whether you know this or not, they have a really good announcer too.
Brutal Genesis, Chevy. I love you guys.
And, you know, we love you too, man. Thank you so much for letting me come into Impact and talk with you today. It's always a pleasure. I've been lucky enough to see a lot of your fights, and you know, I'm hoping to keep watching a lot of great fights in the future. I know we can expect a lot from you, bud.
Most definitely. Thank you.
No problem. Well, again, for MinnesotaMMAnews.com, your source for all local and national MMA news, I'm Chevy. Anthony, the Bruiser Mix, he's going to be fighting Treasure Island July 30th. It's going to be an amazing fight. You're not going to want to miss it. You can get tickets at the Treasure Island Resort and Casino box office by calling the casino, or you could show up the day of the fight and you can get them there. So ladies and gentlemen, remember, do not do anything I would do. Peace. We're out of here.
Peace.